Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today we are wrapping up my Wave 14 reviews with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 14 Dino Thunder Black Ranger. So this is one of my most anticipated figures because, first of all, it completes Dino Thunder, which is my favorite season. It goes very, very nicely with the Mesagog figure that we've already had in Wave 14. It is my favorite version of Tommy, and I think this figure turned out pretty solid. So very excited to finally take a look at it here. So let's just go ahead and dive right on into it. So the box looks very, very nice. I'm very happy with the way that the artwork turned out on this one. This is one of those unfortunate ones though, where the other four members of the team we had in beautiful Tom Whalen artwork from 2020 through 2022. And now of course here we have the plastic free packaging art, which is still nice, but it's just like they were so close to having the whole Toon Dumb and Tom style that it's unfortunate that we don't get to finish it off with that. But there's the little helmet render, Dino Thunder Black Ranger. As you can see, you get that kind of orange effect piece of kind of the blast one at the end of staffs and stuff that we've had before. On the back, you see the Tommy likeness, which is not the greatest, but we'll take a look at that there. All the accessories he's supposed to have. There he is again, the barcode and everything. So there is that. Now, I got mine actually as a gift, a graduation gift from MCU Collector 24. So huge thanks to him for hooking me up with this. I do believe it's in stock on Pulse right now. I don't know if it's in stock on Amazon. That's where this one did come from though. But I'm not 100% sure. There will be a link to both of those places in the description below. An Amazon affiliate link, which helps out the channel, and Pulse for this one. But he should be popping up in stock a little bit more, infrequently than the rest of the wave. He definitely seems to be the most popular of the wave, but he'll be in stock, I'm sure, within enough time. But let's go ahead and take a look at Tommy Oliver, or Dr. O. And here's Tommy out of the box with everything that he comes with. And this is a good figure, but it just kind of feels overall really loose. And I don't think I've had as much problems as some people have had, where I've had some people, at least I've seen, had the shoulder pad, like both of them or one of them missing. I've had things where I've seen people's helmets are really, really loose. And I will say that my helmet isn't too loose, but we'll see, because this is the first time, because I actually had the helmet on and I swap it back to the Tommy head since that's how it defaults. So we'll see how it is when I do a second swap of it and stuff like that. But overall, just the whole figure just kind of feels loose. It's kind of in a way to where it's not too bad because it makes the joints move pretty easily compared to some Lightning Collection figures. So like in that regard, I don't necessarily mind it. But then you have things like this belt, right? Which I feel is really loose on there. Usually these are a little bit more, not necessarily glued down, but at least I don't feel like they move around as much as this one does. And I don't know if it's just mine or if it's just the design of the figure, or maybe this is accurate, but I feel like the Brachiostaff holster is so far behind his leg, because like obviously you want the belt buckle to be centered there, and when you do that it makes this go like behind his leg, and maybe that's accurate, but it just feels like it's not to me, and I'm not sure if it's just mine maybe should be like there or something, or if that's just how it is, so I'm actually not 100% sure about that one. But also just down to the design of the figure, I do like that he is not pinless, because that makes him, well, I just got done talking about how loose he was, but it kind of makes him not that loose of a figure in terms of like, he doesn't have necessarily like the wobbly legs problem for the most part, and he doesn't have the drop downs or anything like that, but at the same time I kind of wish he was pinless, because it makes the pins just kind of break up that design, and that's just how all the Dino Thunder figures have been, except for Kira, because she was pinless, but like, I don't know, for him it just makes it stand out a lot more because, at least in my opinion it does, because you have that nice gold that's just broken up by these black pins, and I just kind of wish that they could have been gold as well, but it's not that big of a deal. It's really not that bad, but, that's how it is. But overall, I think the figure is captured in the suit very, very nicely, so I like the Dino Thunder logo there. The shoulder pads are nice. They kind of almost look like they're on like a hinge or something, but they're not. They're just like a soft rubber that, kind of gets out of the way if you're trying to, like that way, if you're trying to move the arm, but like they're not really on a hinge or anything, they just kind of look like they are. I'm not really sure how some people have had theirs missing. That's definitely a weird thing to me. You do get the nice gold line there, which I think it was it Ethan had it and Connor didn't? There was some weird thing to where one of them had it, one of them didn't on the previous releases of the Dino Thunder males. They made them inconsistent, but Tommy here, pretty good. So taking a look at the head sculpt. So Dr. O, this is my favorite version of Tommy, and I gotta say, yeah, I don't see it. So there is a picture of Jason David Frank from Dino Thunder, and while it captures like the little goatee, and I think it gets the hair pretty good, I really don't see it in there. And I'm trying to like maybe turn it at a certain angle or something, to where I maybe could kind of see it, but like turning it that way, I don't really see it. Like, I don't know who this is. It doesn't really look like Tommy to me at all. Like I said, you kind of get the hair down, and if you yeah, I don't know, I don't see it, which is really unfortunate because, like I said earlier in this video, this is my favorite version of Tommy in my favorite season, so I kind of was hoping that this would have a good head sculpt, but it doesn't really, in my opinion, which is unfortunate. But there he is back there. But accessories-wise, he comes with pretty much everything you would want him to. So hand-wise, he has this kind of gripping hand, or kind of claw-ish hand, or whatever, grasping hand for his right, and he just gets a fist for his left, so nothing too crazy there. You do, of course, get the Brachio staff, which you're probably going to get a bent one. Because of the plastic-free packaging thing, it's very, very bent. I've seen some people's where it's really, really bent. I don't want to, like, bend mine more, but this entire kind of tip of it is sort of soft plastic, and once it gets to here, it kind of becomes a more harder plastic. But yeah, you're definitely going to have a bent Brachio staff tip there, which, like I said, I've seen a lot worse than this. I've seen a lot better than this, but paint-wise, it is painted very nicely and sculpted very nicely. So I really do like that. It's been one of my favorite weapons. I've always really liked the Brachio staff. And this was kind of like how Kendrick's was in the last review. This is how we knew that Dino Thunder Black was coming in this wave, because there was a leaked photo of the Brachio staff accessory, which even then I think was a little bit bent back in like September 2022. So that's how we knew. And here it is finally in the finished product, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. So there is that. You do get a orange blast effect piece for this, which is the kind of hand, or this kind of blast effect that we've had with like different staffs and swords and such like that. So this is not that uncommon of a piece. I don't necessarily remember if we've had it in orange, because as we get 150 figures deep into this line, I just forget how many times or where we've seen all these effect pieces. I usually am pretty good with it, but I know we've had this effect before. I just don't remember if we've had it in orange. We probably have, but it has the little tip piece. Where is it? Right there. So you can kind of, it doesn't really want to stay in, and I don't really want to bend the staff anymore, but you can kind of clip it into that and sort of have something like that going on with it. I kind of would have liked if maybe this was like a purple effect piece or something, or if they maybe could have done some kind of custom effect piece for like the energy orb, because I feel like with all, any kind of Lightning Collection effect piece, sometimes they have like custom ones, ones that only pertain to one specific figure, and Dino Thunder Black is always doing the energy orb attack with this, so that would have been cool to have something for this, but unfortunately we do not, which is perfectly fine. And then the final accessory, of course, is the helmet, which I think is done very nicely. You do get the purple little eyes painted there, and a little bit of red, and that really pretty gold trim, which thankfully there actually is a helmet trim. Could you imagine if there wasn't on this one? Dino Thunder Black would absolutely need it. So let's see how loose this is. So we'll go ahead and take this helmet off, or this head off, and pop the helmet on. So mine doesn't really feel like it's loose. It feels like it goes on there pretty nicely, honestly. So I'm happy about that. Like, I'm not sure exactly what people were talking about in terms of loose, like if it was loose this way, or if it just kind of felt like it was wobbly, but thankfully mine feels like it's on there pretty good, and it makes the look really complete. So there is the full, complete Dino Thunder Black. And if you wanted to, you can take the Brachio staff and slot it into his holster, just like that. And I think it's really good. I'm really happy with this figure overall with how it turned out. So, and if you pair it with SPD Yellow that just came out, and you've been collecting everything that we've had so far, even though I don't have my SPD Yellow just yet, that means you can do the full Wormhole SPD Dino Thunder crossover of no one gets inside this circle if you wanted to do that. But this also does complete Dino Thunder after a couple of years. So there is Tommy Oliver. And here it is, the complete Lightning Collection Wave 14 with Lost Galaxy Pink, Dino Thunder Black, Dino Thunder Mesogog, and Dino Fury Blue. So also obviously a lot of Dino Fury teams or Dino seasons in this lineup here. This was a strong wave in my opinion. I think all four of these figures were really, really nice. I think three of them had some pretty solid head sculpts, with still Ollie's being the best of the civilian head sculpts, followed by then Kendrick's, and then Tommy's had the worst one. I still just don't think this looks all that much like Tommy from Dino Thunder, but I kind of see it, but yeah, really good wave. I think this was a lot of fun getting these choices, because these two complete teams. If you have everything else, this half completes a team. This is a villain that we've needed for a while, and it goes nice with Dino Thunder as well, and I really like it. And also, it took a long time to get this wave done, since I got him from Singapore back in February, and I finally got the rest of them this past week or so, even though these reviews are being spread out a little bit. But in terms of kind of ranking for the wave, first of all, I think this is one of the best wave choices in terms of the lineup of it that we've ever had in the line. But in terms of like my favorite to least favorite in this wave, my favorite in this wave is Mesagog, followed by Dino Thunder Black, and there's a lot of nostalgic bias towards that and personal bias towards that. Followed by then Lost Galaxy Pink, because I think her accessory lineup was just pretty much exactly what I want that figure to have. And then my least favorite is Dino Fury Blue, just because I still don't really like the Dino Fury designs in Lightning Collection. I think the helmets are too small, and the lightning chest on the pattern there I think looks a little weird. I also just don't really care for the character of Ollie and don't have as much of an attachment to Dino Fury. So I think that's how it's going to go. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. But still, a really solid wave, and I can say that each of these figures is actually a good figure and a good release in the Lightning Collection, and I'm really happy with how this wave turned out overall. And with that, that is going to do it for my video review of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 14 Dino Thunder Black Ranger. So, I can definitely recommend this figure along with the entirety of Wave 14. I think this was just a really solid wave, as I probably just talked about in the little clip at the end there where I had the whole wave standing there. So yeah, I really like it quite a bit. It's my favorite version of Tommy. I think they captured it pretty nicely, even though the likeness is not the greatest and, you know, the whole thing with the pins and stuff like that. But if you can get one with not that bent of a brachiostaff and not that loose of a joints on the helmet and stuff like that, I think it's a really solid one, and I think a great addition to complete another team in the Lightning Collection after so long. So that's going to do it. Of course, until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR. You can check out all my other Lightning Collection Wave 14 reviews here on the channel. And until next time, I will see you all later. To wrap up this video, I'd like to thank my $5 and above patrons: Jurassic Samurai, Maggot Alchemist, Robert Browning, Static Thunder, Brendan Overland, Maji Yellow, MCPC Studios, Comics 1017, James Darty, John Luke, Eric Berry, Tyler Bezetsky, Matthew Thorne, Josh Landry, Pyramidus, CBT Tesla, Cross SCV, Caboose Ed, Socket Monsters, Anthony Love, Daniel Pika, Hella Geo, Thrasher, Jesus Prime, Uni Warrior Thomas, and Louis Carnes. You can support Toku Topics for as little as $1 a month on my Patreon, linked in the description below.